provided by Stop to Heal. Today in this video we are going to discuss the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, first edition, that was published in 1952. By the end of World War II, psychiatrists faced a problem regarding the nomenclature for psychopathology. Within the United States, there were three different classification systems for mental illnesses in use. But the first was the Standard Classification Nomenclature of Diseases 1942 revision. The second was the Armed Forces Nomenclature, whereas the third was the Veterans Administration Nomenclature, which was a slightly different version of the Medical 203. To add to the confusion, none of these classification systems matched the system used by the hospitals for reporting. Military and Veterans Administration psychiatrists stated that the nomenclatures they were using was ill-adapted for 90% of their patients. The representatives from all areas met to begin forming the new classification system. Rhines, chair of the APA Committee on Nomenclature and Statistics, wrote the foreword for the DSM-1, in which he outlines the revision process and creation of the new DSM nomenclature. The foreword paints a very favorable picture of the different organizations working together without much discord. As the release date of the DSM approached, the committee sent it for the review to approximately 10% of the APA members. Of the surveys that were returned, 93% approved of the DSM-1 draft. The second draft was then approved by the APA members. The DSM-1 was 145 pages long and included a total of 106 disorders. The DSM-1 mirrored the Medical 203 classification system. As in the Medical 203, each specific disorder was described in paragraph form so that the psychologists and psychiatrists could compare their patients to the provided description. Whereas the only difference in between the structure was the two documents, that the DSM-1 placed somatization reactions in a separate category, where the Medical 203 placed these disorders in the psychoneurotic division. The only structure difference between the two was that the DSM-1 included a section non-diagnostic terms that the mental health professionals could use for coding test results and other observations. Coming to the criticism on DSM-1. The largest controversy from the DSM-1 was the dropping of the combat exhaustion disorder. While the specific disorder was gone, the concept was replaced with a tempered revision called cross-stress reaction. While this allowed for non-combat traumas to be diagnosed, it also shifted the focus away, identifying the negative reactions that many individuals had after experiencing combat. The central diagnosis of combat exhaustion became an afterthought in the DSM-1 and was dropped altogether by the DSM-2. While not exactly the same as our current understanding of PTSD, combat exhaustion was a particular concern for the Army because of World War II, where the strength surpassed all the old histories. One of the hallmark features of the DSM-1 was the use of the term reaction throughout the manual. The concept that life circumstances could produce mental illnesses started in the Medical 203 system and became fully incorporated in the DSM-1. The use of this specific term reflects the influence of Adolf Meyer on the manual. Adolf Meyer initially believed that mental illnesses could be explained with chemistry and physiology, but after all his studies, he concluded that this was not true. He came to view psychopathology as reaction to habit patterns of the total person in response to emotional states brought on the circumstances of life. His final psychobiological view of mental illnesses incorporated reactions of the personality to psychological, social, and biological factors. With this, we conclude the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and keep watching Stop to Heal.